It is also licensed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, live. Yeah. We are live, should be now. Cool, awesome. Well, welcome and hello to a new episode of the SuccessGrid podcast with your host Hussein Talib. My guest in this episode, Vladimir Botsvadze. He is a world-renowned, multi-award-winning digital transformation and social media thought leader, influencer, and keynote speaker. He has more than 15 years of international experience in marketing and innovation with a proven track record of guiding executive and top brands into worldwide change, growth, and to position their brands as a market leaders in their industries. Vladimir, welcome to the Success Grid podcast.
Hi, Hussein. It is a pleasure to be on your podcast, and thanks for inviting me.
Awesome for you to be here. So we are going to be talking about social media, influencing, marketing, these the big guns for any business, I guess. So first, tell us your story. How did you start in this field? Did you have a corporate job? Did you transform? What exactly happened?
Absolutely. Pleasure to join this podcast, Hussein. I come from Georgia, which is one of the oldest wine producing countries. And I moved to the United States when I was 18, when I got my first job. And, I started seeing the world faster, easier, clearer in many ways. I got my first job in Washington, D.C. area. I got my work permit from the State Department and worked in Manassas, Virginia for 2 months. And afterwards, I moved to New York City, where I lived for almost 2 months. And, this kind of period, truly galvanized me to become hungry, about my career growth and success, and when I was exploring all avenues in New York City, when I was 18, 19, I was determined, dogged, very driven, motivated, and I was, I have given my dreams my best shot since my age of 18, so then at the age of 22, I moved to the UK. And I started living, working, and studying in London. And I worked business and marketing and worked in business development, So, and I used to work with 20 offices in downtown London, this period, this experience laid a strong foundation for my growth and paved the way for my transformation, and then at the age of 27, I moved to the UAE, and I attended so many great conferences, and I connected with many like-minded individuals, people who were smarter than me, and such Dubai experience truly helped me gain ground, go places, and move up in the world. And in 2014, I started building my personal brand from scratch on Twitter. And, through conferences, I listened to people who literally have been there and done that. And their example truly motivated me to start working on my goals 16 hours a day, so
That's hours.
actually, I locked the door. I started putting in the work, and I realized that social media was going to be even bigger and bigger in the future, and I built a following of 56,000 followers on Twitter. Literally, I gained more than 130,000 followers across 8-10 social media channels. And when it was the heyday of social media measurement score, cloud, from 2014 2018, I was my social media influence score was growing. I started from 58, and my influence score reached 80 in 4 years, because I was every single day I was putting out 100 pieces of content across 8-10 social media channels,
like that's a lot. That's a ton of work.
Absolutely, a lot of work. So honest to God, I never spent any dollars on advertising myself or promoting my social media channels, and organically, I have built up my social media following, authenticity is what sets me apart nowadays. And Twitter gave me a passion for audience centricity and communication, because nowadays communication dictates everyone everything, So communication is a backbone of everything these days, because if we don't communicate across social media channels, if we don't show gratitude, if we don't connect meaningfully with our communities, with our tribe, if they start following us, and if we don't say thank you, then it is a waste of time for me. So so I did my best to social. I think a partnership is a two-way street nowadays, So
Yeah, exactly.
I realized that, and I built relations with my audiences. That's why I jumped into the conversations with very renowned people on Twitter and built relation with them. And 85% of global leaders use Twitter. So,
Yeah, really.
I think so a single reply to someone influencer's tweet or an entrepreneur's tweet can make a billionaire. You can achieve any kinds of business goals through tweeting. A great example.
So you apparently love Twitter more than anything else, or is
Yes,
it your
like
favorite social media?
yeah, Twitter is like apple of my eye. It is a be all and end all.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
from age 27, from age 27 to age 34, I spent 7 years putting my heart and soul into growing my Twitter community.
Awesome. So okay, let's begin here. So do you think that every business or entrepreneur should have a personal brand? And what do we mean exactly about a personal brand? Because a lot of time when businesses talk about branding, they only think that it is just the logo or the slogan of the business, right? So what is
Yes.
a personal brand, and how is it important, especially nowadays?
Hussein, personal brand is everything these days. If you don't have a strong personal brand, you don't exist. If people Google you and you don't have strong Google results from page 1 to page 10, then you don't exist and people don't work with you. But if they Google you and they see your website, your awards, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your media interviews, your podcast, your different kinds of contributions, then people make decisions at the drop of a hat to work with you and join forces with you. So having a strong personal brand is alpha and omega of business nowadays, of anyone's success. It has been backbone, bedrock, and it has been a turning point for my success. I started taking my success for the better when I started tweeting actively. And at business schools, at top business schools, they don't teach you to have a strong personal brand, to tweet, to show your passion, to discover your passion. Marketing professors literally don't care about students to help them discover their passion. They teach you. Go after finishing this business school, this program, go and work 9-to-5 role, then be in survival mode, stand still and never evolve. But conversely, we need to be in growth mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Jeff Bezos, who built one of the biggest e-commerce businesses in the world, I love his quote, who says that we don't need to be in a survival mode. We need to be in growth mode.
Okay, yeah, of course. Because I have been. You are going to keep looking for a month-to-month basis, right?
Yeah. So I have been tracking my progress, Hussein, since 2014. I mean, nobody should bear in mind that growing a personal brand is a walk in the park, because it takes so much dedication, commitment, and devotion, and discipline. Because without discipline, nobody can build anything meaningful.
Yeah.
And patience is foundational for my success, because I used to wait for the right moment. Patiently. I showed passion and I succeeded.
Of course. If you are consistent and you are patient, definitely it will pay off. If not fast, it will pay off someday. But
you mentioned, Hussein, you mentioned consistency, and you are right, because consistent action creates consistent results.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. course, because if you dabble or postpone things and not work at 100% at it, at whatever that you do, you will not achieve whatever that you actually want to achieve in life.
So since I moved to the United States at the age of 18, and I have had this honor and privilege to experience the United States, and where I started seeing the world faster, easier, clearer, and I gained momentum, and I have made a breakthrough in my career because of United States and United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Without these two places, I would not have been able to hit the bullseye, and I have been in the right place at the right time with the right people. So I mean, curiosity, and I think my biggest strength is open-mindedness, because I'm very open-minded. Still at the age of 35, I'm open-minded. I learn daily.
Exactly.
Active daily learning is number 2 skill by World Economic Forum. And
No,
if now I'm a mover and shaker, I sit the first chair. I'm an advisory board member. I'm a recognized thought leader. I'm represented as a speaker by more than 25 speakers bureaus. I won more than 200 global awards. Hussein.
Good, that's amazing. So you apparently love Twitter, but what do you think a business or entrepreneur should go after a certain, for example, social media channel, and how they should market their services or product? How to find their customer or ideal customer? Should they go on all the channels like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, TikTok now? So, or do you think they should focus on one channel?
No. Okay, Hussein. Google is intent-based marketing. It's all about selling. So Twitter and Instagram is all about branding.
Okay.
You can brand your business through tweeting and through posting on Instagram, through TikToking, So through these 3 channels, you can literally be in a catbird seat in the long term, And I'm a long-term thinker. That's what sets me apart, I play the long game, I take one step at a time. I bear in mind that Rome was not built in a day, and I need to keep my shirt on and to hit the ground running, And I think every entrepreneur should show their passion through social media channels, because mobile is what holds the attention of our society.
Exactly.
And if people live on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, then they should market their brands where people actually spend their time online. But what I see nowadays, that this corporate world does not know where consumers' attention is nowadays on social media, and they are wasting their money on billboard, on TV, on print magazines, on radio, and they are getting nothing in return. And as a result, they face a catch-22 situation, whereas future-focused brands prepare the ground by going into overdrive on social media, by putting out content, by producing podcast series, podcast episodes, and also you are doing a great job because you stand out in a global marketplace, in a noisy global digital marketplace, by producing this amazing podcast series and inviting the best thought leaders to your episodes and sharing these episodes with the world, right? Because you stand out. And I think we need to be in a brand building business, Hussein.
Yeah, exactly.
There are people who are in the sales business, and when they connect with you, they send you a sales pitches. And there are people who are in a brand building business, and they provide educational and informative content to their audiences, and they build their brand in the long term. And then sales becomes easy as ABCs in the long term, because they have built their brands, and the whole world will comes to them to work with them. Understand?
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you this. You mentioned traditional advertising and traditional kind of marketing like billboards and these kind of things. So do you really think that these traditional channels of billboards, whatever it is, having ads in the newspaper, are way gone now? Everything should be
it is water under the bridge. It is water under the bridge. I mean, there are 8 billion people in the world, and 5.3 billion mobile users. Hussein, 5 billion internet users and 4.7 billion social media active users. We are talking billions of people using this device. We are in a mobile only world nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I remember, like you mentioned, the mobile. Now, the cheapest mobile phone nowadays has the capabilities of like the 70s computers at NASA. So NASA, the computers at the time were like, I think maybe 1 megabyte hard disk drive at the time. Now your mobile gets 180 something giga or whatever, the capabilities on the camera, the capabilities on the memory. So the mobile now is like basically a PC, a computer, a laptop by itself.
And yes, Hussein, I have recently been recognized among top 10 inspiring business leaders making a difference in 2022 by Inside Success magazine in Ohio. And the editorial team sent me magazine to my home, and I would love to show the magazine.
Yeah, cool. That's amazing, Vladimir.
And this is a result of my hard work.
Yeah,
cool. That's the magazines. I'm on the front page. My name is mentioned on the front page of magazines, and I have also been interviewed by Excellion magazine and recognized me, Hussein, as a transformative leader of the year in the United States. The enterprise world in the United States also is due to publish my interview in September and will recognize me among top 10 inspiring business leaders. And nowadays I'm invited as a jury member at global marketing award ceremonies in the UK, Prolific North. I have become a member of marketing judging committee of American Business Awards, and I'm trusted to judge billion-dollar marketing projects on Fortune 500 brands in the United States. And I know, like the palm of my hand, what's going on in the marketing landscape because of, I review and judge the biggest marketing projects of the biggest brands.
So let me ask you this: what do you think are the skills necessary for entrepreneurs to build their personal brand online?
Because everyone, Hussein, everyone need to be in growth mode, and social media following should be increasing in the long term. Everyone needs to. I'm a one-man band. Hussein. I have done everything myself. I pedal my own canoe and stand, and I have stood on my own 2 feet everywhere. Nobody should say that I'm lucky because attracting opportunities is 1% luck and 100% putting yourself out there and taking risks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have taken risks. And I have gone into the world and earned everything by dint of my creativity, by sleepless nights, by my hard work, by my partnerships, by my vision. Because I listen to myself, because I listen to myself. I create my path. I don't need to follow the crowd, Nowadays, this formal education teaches you to follow the crowd, to be in a survival mode, to stop learning after you finish school, So literally, you rest on your laurels when you get a job and when you finish your university. So. But I have been working, Hussein, 16 hours a day since 2006 because I did not want to waste great opportunities, and there is no time like the present to capitalize on great opportunities,
So what like I mentioned earlier, what do you think are the skills necessary to build a social media following and personal brand?
Listening is very important, Listening is very important because if people live in ivory towers and hide under rocks and they put their heads in the sand and imagine nothing is happening, nobody is following, and they don't communicate, they don't show gratitude, they don't. Of course, there are of course, you need to take risk. You need to take a step forward, to build great things in your life, I mean, I was curious. I was open-minded. I wanted to grow my audience. That I was thinking that what I was going to achieve in the next 5 years, where I will be in the next 5 years, where I will be standing. Because I missed all parties in my 20s because I worked every day in my 20s.
Yeah.
I worked, and whereas my people at my age, they are going to parties, they are going on vacation, they are buying luxury cars, they are but I have reinvested every penny in my growth.
That's very important.
Yes, because building a website is not easy. It takes hard work, so but I scrimped and saved. And when it comes to building a meaningful business, when you save up for your business projects, then it pays off in the long term, So I have built my website and I have disrupted biggest marketing thought leaders in the world. And I'm now ranked #1 global marketing thought leader by Thinkers 360. Hussein.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of marketing, what is the best marketing process that people or business owners and entrepreneurs should go through?
To build the best marketing strategy in 2022 is to build your social media following and to connect with audiences globally. Your content can reach millions of people worldwide if you create great content. And my tweets used to reach 40 million people annually. 40 million people annually,
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
In more than 1,000 cities throughout the world.
Yeah. So what do you think that you are basically into? Do you think that, for example, any business should focus more into marketing or into sales? Because as we know, marketing.
They should forget that they are in sales business. They need to be in a brand building business. Who's saying brand building business? Why Nike is Nike? Right? Because Nike has a strong brand. Just do it campaign has taken Nike success to the next level, and not like a Nike CEO comes to your house and knocking on your doors and promoting his product to asking you to buy Nike, right? No, you buy Nike because it has strong brand. And if we want to stand out in a noisy digital global marketplace, we need to be in a brand building business. Twitter has built my personal brand, and the proof of the pudding in the eating.
So what type of content do you prefer? For example, do you prefer people create text or articles, videos? Is it better?
I share
or images like Instagram. What's the best content form do you think it is?
Any kinds of content builds your brand. Any kinds, written, text, video, audio.
Yeah.
I shared, for example, on Twitter, famous quotes about renowned business entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
For example, I have been inspired by Elon Musk quote, who said that if you work 8-hour work weeks and other people are working 40-hour work weeks, in 4 months you will achieve what it takes for them in a year to achieve.
Okay.
Understand? Hussein, if you literally post this quote on the internet, people will start complaining that how come Elon is working like hell and he's putting his heart and soul into project business. I need to go on vacation. I need to keep up with Jonases, and I don't have time to put in the work. And moderation is everything. But there is a method in Elon Musk's madness, because Elon Musk super hard. So exception proves a rule.
Yeah, you like we mentioned, you have to be consistent. You have to put the hours. Nothing happens like
nothing happens in a day, right? Nothing happens in a week. Nothing happens in a month. You need to you need to give some time to your projects and to show patience and to take one step at a time.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that any entrepreneur who wants to start, for example, on Twitter or any social media for that matter, should focus on a certain subject?
Yes, because I started actually. I was focused on tweeting about entrepreneurship, marketing, and business development on Twitter. My marketing strategy truly performed miracles in the long term. Now I'm featured in magazines. I mentor startups at startup accelerators at Seed Stars. I'm an advisory board member. I'm among top 5 digital transformation thought leaders, among top 100 global retail influencers, and ranked number 1 in the world. And I have been going from sectors. I have literally have taken the business world by storm, because I showed passion, and I love these results, and I take pride in seeing my results that are as solid as a rock, Hussein.
Yeah. So you are passionate about marketing, you love it, you are passionate about content creation, you are good at that, but what do you think that you personally not good at and do you delegate to other people to do?
I aim to leave people motivated to take action at the end of each my performance, So whether I tweet, whether I speak at global conferences, or even after this podcast appearance, right? I want to leave people inspired, motivated, and driven to take action. Because if people continue watching Netflix, right, after like keynote speech or something like that, it doesn't make sense. I want people to make motivated. I want people to be fired up for passion. I want to help people discover passion within themselves,
Yeah. So what do you think some of the resources an entrepreneur or a business owner look for? Like, for example, if you chose one book to read, what would that book be?
Actually, no, I love the book by Terence Maury, who is a great friend of mine. And the book is How to Win in the Age of Disruption.
Okay, yes, that's a very good title.
yes, because Terence is a public speaker. He's an author and also entrepreneur in residence at a London Business School. And actually, he also an Inc. magazine contributor, So he's in the front line of digital disruption, and I truly enjoyed reading his book,
Yeah. So what advice or a takeaway for the audience who would listen to this episode you would give them?
My advice, people, is to choose optimism and to be long-term thinker and to create great content at scale across 8-10 social media channels in the long term,
Yeah. So with that, do you think that so using, for example, a second like platforms, like for example, there are apps that help you separate your social media content with one click to multiple platforms? Do you use that, or do you use that, or do you just post immediately to Twitter, for example?
Hussein, people make mistake when they distribute the same content on every channel. It's mistake because what works on Facebook doesn't work on Twitter or on LinkedIn. So you need to have different strategies on every channel.
Yeah.
On Twitter, it is like a cocktail party for the business world. So you can easily join conversations. You can easily build a relationship with people. You can easily follow everyone in the world. You can follow Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Satya Nadella, Bill Gates, and you can learn a great deal from these amazing people.
Yeah.
So when I follow these amazing people, I demand a lot from myself. And I push self-education, I reinvent myself, and I have surpassed everyone globally in marketing.
Awesome. So where can people get in touch with you, Vladimir?
how they can touch with me?
Yeah.
They can follow me on Twitter at Botsvadze. They can check out my website at VladimerBotsvadze.com. And they can connect with me on LinkedIn if they want to book me as a speaker. Then I'm available to join conferences and summits as a speaker and share my actionable and future-proof strategies that guarantee long-term success and sustainability.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Vladimir, thank you for being here today with me on this episode of the SuccessGrid podcast. We had a quick chat, but we had an important chat about personal branding, that each one should focus on building their own personal brand, because this is how business is going, right?
Absolutely. Thank you, Hussein, for this opportunity, and I hope that everyone will become more curious about their passion, about social media channels, and to what extent social media can greatly benefit and impact small